Okay, everybody, this is, yeah, I can see your screen. And can everybody see the screen there that says Find Your Home in Charlottesville? Up and running? Good. So this is Matt Fowler, and I am CEO and one of the co-founders of Solid Earth. I have Roger Anderson with me on the phone. Roger is going to be managing the screen today, and I'm going to be talking to you guys. We'll both kind of tag team that probably. Sorry for the background noise. I'm at the Real Estate Standards Organization RESO 2016 meeting in Nashville, talking to leaders in the industry about Upstream this morning, about AMP, about Zillow, about data standardization and standard names. I know that sounds just absolutely thrilling. This afternoon we have an hour-long conversation on parcel ID standardization across the country. I'm going to load up on coffee for that one. But these all have a lot of ramifications for you guys because we're rapidly in the process of changing the real estate industry technology really dramatically. This next year is going to see a huge amount of innovation, and we're really thrilled to be part of it. And thank Charlottesville for allowing us back into your market this time to build your new consumer portal. And today we're recording this so people who couldn't attend today can see it. So we're actually going to go really fast so we can get this file size down. And we have 9 things on our list to talk about today. The first one is this introduction, which we're just completing. And we're going to dive right in. And just to give you an overview of what we're going to talk about today, the first thing we're going to do is talk about general searching, just how to use the site to find things. Then we're going to talk about who sees what on this property, on this site. There are 4 roles in the system, and based on who you are and how you're logged in, the system behaves very differently from role to role. Then we're going to show you how to save your searches and save your work, and then we're going to show you how to generate interactivity or an automatic online conversation with people that you want to follow your listings, consumers, and how to engage them. And the reason we're here today is to talk about leads. This site is already generating leads for members of the Charlottesville Association, and there's some sitting out there unclaimed, and we're going to show you how to get to those. And then the last 3 things we're going to do are admin things, how to manage your lead settings if you're the office manager, how to determine who gets leads in your office, and then finally we'll take a look at how to link from our system down into your own IT system as a broker if you want to do that. It's optional. So the first thing we're going to do, and Roger's going to help me out here, is we're going to look at the general searching that you can do on Charlottesville. And on the landing page there at mycar.com, you have a large photograph of the beautiful Charlottesville area. And then if Roger starts typing in the word Charlottesville into that little box, and we call that box the Omni box because it'll do everything, you'll see that we have selected city, we've selected high school and middle school and street name, among other things that show up in that list, and we prioritize these things by which ones we believe are most important. We've done this together with your leadership there at Charlottesville, and as you can see, if you type in CHA into your mobile phone or into your desktop, as Roger's doing, you'll get Charlottesville, VA, and if you want all the properties that are in the city of Charlottesville as identified by the MLS, you would just click that little button as Roger just did, and you'll see that City Charlottesville has been selected as a little tag. And the tag allows you to search for all the properties that are in the city. You can add other tags to this. You could add, like the school that we saw earlier. You could add anything that you saw in that drop-down list. And to things that are in that drop-down list, you can see that you have price there below, and you can bracket your price from and to. You can also expand this section by clicking more search options, and then you get this big long list of things that you can do. This is still on the landing page of the site, so it's a quick version. You can change to different property categories, and you see if you change from homes, say, to land, the options below homes will change to be those that are appropriate for land property category. and we won't bother demoing all those today. You can just play with them. We're going to stay in homes, and we're not going to really demo too much of this because it's just too self-explanatory. Square foot brackets from to age, from to acreage, and then a year built option. And to just kind of talk about the property, or excuse me, the landing page in general. The landing page has this search tool in the middle. It has a navigation bar across the top, just like normal. It has a login block in the upper right corner that says sign in or register. We're going to cover that in our next step here in a minute. And then down, the login box, we'll talk about that in just a moment. So you can clear your criteria. You can search for properties. If you scroll down a little bit, Roger, you'll see that we have a little box here that's incomplete. It says browse communities in Charlottesville. In the next week or two, a list of properties will show up in that box that are the most searched properties on the site. So it's a way of pulling what people are looking for out onto the landing page where people can get to them more easily. It also helps a lot with our search engine optimization. Then we have a way to search for realtors. It's kind of a roster search that we put on the landing page. Below that, we have some media content. So the latest tweet from the association will show here. Also, blog posts and other media messages will show in that section over time, based on who you are, whether you're a consumer or a member of the MLS. So that's what the landing page looks like. And if we scroll back up, you'll be able to go do a search. So this is just general searching at a review very quickly. We type what we want into that little Omni box, and then we narrow down our search as much as we can here, and then click search for properties. And it's going to take us to the second page in the system that we'll look at today. The first one was the landing page. The second page is called search results. And search results has the same menu bar across the top. It has the same sign in or register block in the upper right-hand corner. It has a property search box on the left side, and that is our advanced search. So it always appears there on the left, and you can narrow down your search results however you like. If we look through that list, you'll see that you can choose different categories, as we saw before. You can choose a price bracket, as we saw on the landing page. But on the advanced search, we have some other things that you couldn't do on the landing page, like you can change the property type from just homes to what type of home. And we have attached, all the things that you know are in your res property type list there at CAR. Below that, we have some other options. We have beds and baths, we have square footage, acreage, year built, and extra options. If you expand extra, you'll see that you can restrict to just those listings that have open houses or just those listings that have virtual tours. I got Roger to expand that options box to foreshadow a little bit. When we look back at this in a few minutes, logged in as a professional or logged in as a member of the MLS, you'll see that there are extra options in this advanced search labeled Pro that are only available to members of the MLS. Like under dates, for example, if you click and expand dates, that's a relative date, so you can look a certain number of days in the past, but Pro members are allowed to put in a date range. Then we have, we're going to bear down on this for just a second because it's really important. If you look at include and exclude at the bottom of this list, this is the way that we kind of dig down into the feature list and allow you to specifically include certain things that you want, or in the box below the include features to specifically exclude things that your consumer does not want in their search result. And then when you're done making your selections here, you click search and it will execute that search and further narrow your selection criteria. You see the save search button there. We're going to cover that in just a moment. When you click search now, you'll get, you've really already done that. You have search results there on the right, and you have three little buttons at the top. One says list, one says map, and one says gallery. If you click on any of those, you'll see that the way these 400 and something listings are displayed is changed a little bit. This one is going to put those properties onto a map of the area. You'll see that they're these little dots. The dots have numbers in them. Those represent how many properties are in that area. And when you click on one, you'll see that it will expand that cluster to show you individual little green tags. Those tags are clickable and show you the property that's for sale at that location. You also have a save button on the little pop-up there, and you'll see the little star and save next to the list view and also the gallery view. So before we leave Map, Roger, real quick, in the upper right, you have some little map control buttons, and you have zoom in, zoom out. Then you have one that looks like a little pin, and below the the pin, if you click that's where you get your satellite terrain options. You'll also notice that we've included substantial numbers of points of interest. So you can look at banks or police stations or schools or the physical location of the school buildings, lots of different things in that list. And again, you access that by going to a search result, by clicking on the little pin, and then choosing what you want to have on your map. The icon below the pin is called Free Draw, and if you click on that, you'll see that you are now given the ability to draw a physical shape on the map, a polygon. When you close the polygon, nodes appear that allow you to edit the shape of the polygon, and then once you're done with your editing, you click off of the polygon and using that button over on the right, and the polygon nodes will disappear. It will become affixed to the map surface, and it will show you all of the properties that that match your criteria and also fall within that shape. So super easy to define an area using mycar.com by going to the map and drawing a shape on the map. If you go to, I guess we already went over gallery. And then finally, there's a little delete button that lets you clear that shape on the right. So that is a quick look at the second thing on our list of 9 things to do today, general searching. We started with the Omnibox. We went to the search results page where we were able to refine that search using advanced search. You can see that you can see those properties in list, map, or gallery view. And then when you click through one of those properties, we'll go to the third page that we're going to look at today. We started on the landing page, then we went to search results, and now we're going to go over to the listing detail page. The listing detail page is the end result of searching. Once you've found the property that you want in the list, you click on it, and now you're through to everything we know about this property. And you'll see that we've got the social sharing in the top right. Just below social, we have the branding block where we show the listing brokerage, the listing agent or agents. And then you'll note that next to the listing agent's name, Anthony McGee here, there's a button that says Work with Anthony. And that's a little foreshadowing to the next thing we're going to talk about, which is roles. When you click that button, if you're a consumer and you log in subsequent to clicking that, that little orange button, it's going to change the way the site works for you as the consumer logged in, and it's going to turn it into essentially an IDX experience. So the listing brokerage name and the listing office listing agent name will just disappear from all listings that this particular person will see subsequent to pushing the Work with Anthony McGee button. So it allows your buyer to connect with you and then to concentrate all future inquiries without further effort on the agent with whom they've chosen to work. So that's a really cool thing. If you scroll down this list, you'll see that we know lots about 3313 Arbitrace. We have lots of photos. We have detailed information about the property pulled from the MLS. We also have information we pull from lots of other places. So we have great schools, scores and locations. We have the physical location of healthcare providers nearby this property. And there we've got some. And you can actually narrow down that list of people by the type of health insurance that they accept. So we've got some hyper-local information here that is going deeper into the Charlottesville neighborhoods, hopefully, than our national portal competitors are able to do. So this is great schools. This is local points of interest. I think below that we've got a little bit more information if you just scroll down through the LDP. There's some area profile information, and we even show at the very bottom the ambient noise level at this particular property by looking at a national database of ambient noise. And you see this place is nice and quiet. To review searching, we start on the landing page with the Omnibox and the search options below. Then we perform the search and go over to the search results page, which has a whole bunch more information on it, including advanced search. And then finally, when we locate the property we click through it and go to the listing detail page. And what we're going to do next is talk about those roles. So if we go back to the landing page, Roger, we're just going to talk about those 4 roles, and we'll number them real quick. The first one is what we're looking at right now, and that's anonymous. So we're not logged in at all. We haven't identified ourselves. We haven't clicked sign in or register. We've just found mycar.com on the web and started searching. So what I want to do now is I want to talk about what happens if you do sign in. And if I click that sign in button, Roger's going to get that login block again that we looked at a moment ago. And you have the ability here to sign in on the left with your email address and your password. That's what consumers are going to do. That's where consumers would log back into the site. To the right of that, if you're a new user, this is where you put in your email address for a new account with mycar.com. And then below there, you've got member login. So that's you guys, unless we have some non-members in training. And if you click member login, I think we've got this worked out so it'll work for us. We get the Clarity portal login. So we put in a test account in there that Ian was nice enough to set up for us. And watch carefully what's going to happen when Roger clicks login. He's going to get a little please wait sign, and then the next page is a page we haven't seen before. It's the 4th page that we're going to look at in our time together today. This is called the dashboard, and it's only accessible by members of the MLS. So when you log in through Clarity, you'll be taken directly to the dashboard. If you click, and we won't bother doing this, but if you click car in the upper left corner, or you click search from the menu on the left, you'll go back to that landing page where consumers start their Spring or MyCar experience. But we know you're a member, so we've taken you straight to the dashboard. And on the left side of the dashboard, we're just going to describe these things real quick. And then Roger's going to take us over to Indianapolis, Indiana, where we have a large customer. And we're logged in already as one of our members over there, Sharon. And we're going to show you how the dashboard works through Indianapolis, because I don't want to show you other people's active leads in the Charlottesville system as much as you might like me to do that. It looks exactly like Charlottesville, as you can see, same dashboard user interface. And just going from the left top to bottom, we're going to cover these real quickly. We've already covered search, and we are going to look at that in a minute because I want to show you that it's a little bit different. Then we have collections underneath there. Collections is the 5th thing we're going to look at today. We're currently on number 3, and we're going to talk about how you create collections. It's kind of like a shopping cart that you can invite people to because it's collaborative. Below that, we have dashboard, which takes you to this page. We have listing analytics. Now let's click that one, Roger. This is going to look at Sharon's listings and tell us a little bit about how Sharon's listings are doing. So Sharon's got a bunch of actives. It's like 8 or something. And this is showing you how many views they've had, how many impressions they've had, how many clicks they've had, what that ratio is, how many have been delivered by email, and then of those, how many have been opened. These are engagement metrics that show you essentially how Sharon's listings are being accepted by browsers out on the web. So that's what listing analytics is about. Below that, we have office settings, but we're going to skip that for a minute till we get down to admin later in our presentation. And we're also going to, so the next thing in the list over there is leads, and that's a little bit down the list too. We'll come right back to that. Below that, we have some reports. We have a Market Watch report, which is still in the process of being built for Charlottesville. I think you can click on it, but I'm not sure what it looks like. That's a great chart that we'll cover in a future training session. Yeah, you know what? That's actually a lot farther along than I thought it was. That's a really fascinating looking chart that we don't have the time to really cover today. But if you read the instructions up there at the top, I think you'll catch what that's all about. It's a really good forward-looking data analytics chart. Yeah, that was in my board, wasn't it, Roger? That makes sense.
Yeah.
So below that, yeah, I thought it was. So below that, where it says Sharon Hill, this is Sharon's own like profile settings. If you click settings next to Sharon's name, this is just where Sharon is going to go upload her photo, change her password, do that kind of stuff. But I want to take a pit and point out some of these things across the top of the word account. If you click My Agent, does it say profile? Yeah. Click My Agent Profile. This is where Sharon can actually name a page in the site for herself. So she has named her personal site Sharon Ann. So if you go to property.myboard.com/Sharon Ann, it will show you Sharon's profile with Sharon's current active listings, and if your rules allow it, your recent sold production. It shows upcoming open houses, and it's a great way for you to connect to Sharon. It would also show you the Work with Sharon Hill button, the big orange one we saw on the listing detail page. It's not showing here because I'm logged in as an agent, and the agents don't connect with agents in that way. So that's what the profile looks like. It's what the dashboard looks like. It's what member settings look like. Before we leave settings, Roger, click on My Agent Code. And this works with that orange Work with this Agent button. You can provide this code, RTA87AX, maybe on your business card or your website for people to use when they're going through the registration process. There is a point at which it says, enter the agent's code here with whom you're working, and that allows them to skip that orange button thing and just connect directly to you. So that's what the agent code is all about. And that takes us back to the dashboard, and we're moving through our list of things to talk about. The roles that we were reviewing are first anonymous, as we were saying before. Then if you log in as a consumer using that login block that Roger showed you, then that's role number 2, and we allow you to save things and recall things and email things to people if you have an account. And then the third role is if you execute that orange button or you put that short code in the registration process, then that's a consumer that's connected to an agent. And the fourth and final role is a member, one of you guys. And you're the only ones, role 4, that get the dashboard. And we're going to take a look at the dashboard real quick and make sure that we've covered all that thoroughly in just a few minutes when we talk about leads. So if we just look at the content of the dashboard just a little bit, you'll see site traffic on the left, which shows you global site traffic. So you can see overall what kind of traffic mycar.com is getting. And then on the right, this is traffic just for your specific listings. So you can see Sharon's listings are getting some traffic there on the right. Below, we have tabular details, the same data that's in the chart on the upper right. Then we have referral stats and incoming leads, and you'll see that Sharon's got some leads coming in there on the right, leads that have come in on specific properties that have not been picked up yet, and we're going to talk about that next, right after we finish collections. So let's go back to the landing page, Roger. We can go back to Charlottesville, I think, for this. And when you do a search, and just do a search everything over 1 million or something. So when you do a search in the system and you'd like to hang on to those, you want to keep a collection of specific houses that you would like your consumer to be able to come see or be notified about automatically if something's going on. When you do a search, you can save the search using the Save Search button on the left. That's just the little blue button right next to the search button. When you click Save Search, you give that search a name. It automatically puts a name in there to help you, but you can erase that and put anything you want in there and click Save. And then, so that's how you save a search. To save an individual property, though, you click that little Save button with the star next to it. And the point about saving here is that it has to go somewhere. So it has to go into a thing we call a collection. So you could click Create New Collection, or you could add it to the My Collections collection that's already there, either one you want there. And then once you've created a collection and you've added properties to it, you can share that collection with individuals a buyer or a seller. If you create a collection with only one property in it, that would be a great thing to share with your seller, and they can log in, see their house, and see what kind of traffic is going on their house. So Roger's going to create a new collection, and below the collection, it has the type of collection, and you have two choices. You can make it manual, which means you click save and you identify the collection and you just drop it in there manually, or you can change it from manual to automatic. And when you look at that drop-down list, you'll see that there's the word manual, which is the default, and then there's all these other things that are your recent saved searches. And if you choose one of those, you're going to get a message that's going to tell you that some number of properties that are associated with this collection currently will be deleted, and some number will be added to reflect the content of that saved search. And that's all there is to it. So to turn on a auto notification process to consumers that want to look for a particular school zone or zip code, you would just save a search or draw the thing on the map and save it that points to the submarket that you want to feature. You would and then you would create a collection and associate that saved search with that collection. So that is probably the most intricate thing that we'll talk about today, the collection concept itself, and the most intricate piece of that is connecting a saved search to a collection. And just to review, the way you do that is to create a collection or to open one, and under the collection type, you would change that from manual to automatic reflecting which saved search would go with that collection. So that's pretty simple once you get into it. So that is how you save searches, it's how you save collections, it's how you put properties in collections, both manually and automatically. And that takes us to the sixth thing we're going to talk about today, which is the reason that we're here. What if somebody asks you a question about one of these listings? Let's pop back over to MyBOR, Roger. If you're on any listing detail page, there's a contact me about this listing form that you fill out. They can give their phone number or email address, indicate which of those they like you to use, and then it sends out an inquiry. And what happens to those inquiries? The inquiries come into the lead management system in Spring, and they are managed based on the settings that the broker sets at the office level. And the broker sets those up in office settings, and we're going to cover that in just a couple of minutes. But when the default is that the lead or the inquiry will go to the listing agent for a specified number of minutes, and when that time expires, the lead will go from the My Leads tab to the Office Leads tab. And let's click on that lead pools indicator over there, Roger, and you'll see it says 5. And what we have here is 5 leads in the My Leads tab. And you'll see this page has 2 tabs on it, My Leads and Office Leads. And the My Leads, and Sharon's the broker, it's why they're both showing the same list. If this was the listing agent, then you would see leads that were still coming in on your own listings. To accept that listing, you can click Claim Lead. To get details about that listing, you would click View Details. And once that listing is claimed, the agent can't claim another one until a broker-specified number of minutes has passed between the first one and the second one. So there's some configuration there that the broker has to be able to determine how his agents are dealing with the leads that come in through the portal on office listings. So that's what the lead pools page is all about. Lead pools has My Leads and Office Leads on it. The My Leads tab, again, contains those that are still coming in on your particular listings, and then the Office Leads are those that belong to somebody else in your office who has failed to pick it up within the broker-specified number of minutes, and it has rolled over onto the Office Leads tab, where selected agents in the office will see those leads to be able to pick them up. And by selected, I mean the broker has the ability to say who does and doesn't get to the Office Leads tab. There's some other reports over here in the lead section. Lead management, for example, is going to show you a list of leads that have come in, so you can have kind of a broker top-end look at what's going on in your leads population. You have a leads report under the lead pool page. The lead report is, again, a broker tool that's going to give you a look at how your brokers, or excuse me, how your agents are picking up and responding. Roger, if you actually extend that back a month under filters, I think it's only showing the last little bit. Change that to, like, there you go, February or March or something, and you'll get content there. So those are leads report. It shows you who got it, when it was created, how long it took them to pick it up, and who picked it up. So this is a way to look at the performance of agents in your office as a broker. Then finally, prospects in the leads list. Prospects are people that have pushed that orange button. So I went in and did that for Sharon, and Sharon accepted that, and Sharon and I are connected as a broker and an agent. And when you convert a lead to someone who's done that, that's what a prospect is. And this is how you go see who they are, and if you click view details, you'll see what properties they have been talking to you about. So that is our number 6, and the reason that we're here in the first place. These leads coming in are really why we built the site, and that's how you manage those leads in the lead pool. The next thing to talk about is 3 quick admin settings, and they're all under office settings. So if you're logged in as a broker, and we'll stay here in MyBOR because we don't want to display the office settings of a real office back in Charlottesville. If you get this drop down, which is going to ask you to select the agent or the office that you want to edit, and if you're a broker, you can have multiple offices, so you can have different settings for each office. And there are 3 settings on this page. They're the 7th, 8th, and 9th thing and final things we're going to talk about today. So we just talked about the lead pools. This says the leads should expire after a certain amount of time, and you can put however many minutes or hours you want in there. Then the agents must wait a certain number of minutes before they can click that second lead. That's what that number is for. And then finally, if you don't want us to manage the leads at all, and you have a third-party lead management system like LeadRouter or somebody, you can give us the email address to which all leads should be sent, and we'll override the whole process we just talked about and bounce it to that email address and take no further action. Underneath the lead pool settings, there's something called deep links. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on this. If you have any questions about that, please just ask Ian, and we'll show Ian how to do this. This is a way for you to add a button to the listing detail page that points down into your own web system to the specific property that the person is looking at. So if your Lone Wolf or your broker, IDX broker system is configured in such a way that agentname.yourdomainname.com would point to a specific property, or mlsnumber.yourdomainname.com would go to a specific listing, then you can fill out the deep links box, and on the listing detail, we're back in MyBOR again, Century 21 Sheets has done this, and you see next to the agent name it says visit our website for more information. That, when clicked, will take you down into C21sheets.com to the specific property at 7806 Eagles Nest. So you don't go to the search menu, you go directly to that specific property. So that's a great thing to build traffic for the broker. We're not trying to remove traffic from the broker. We're trying to concentrate traffic on the broker, and that's a direct example of how we do that. Then finally, on the Office Settings tab underneath there, moving out of deep links, we have the Office Lead Pool Excluded Agent interface. This is where the broker is going to go through and choose somebody who is maybe on vacation or is sick or isn't an active agent, even though their license is with your brokerage, and they shouldn't receive notices that there are new leads in the office pool. So this is where you tag specific people to pull them out of the list of agents in your office who have the ability to get to those office listings or those office leads. You can specifically exclude people who aren't just not active right now. And that is a super fast look at the Spring system that's taken us about 40 minutes. I've left out a few things, including IDX, which we're going to talk about at a future date. Spring includes an IDX solution for framing and also for WordPress, but we'll cover that in a future webinar. If you have additional questions, you can go to Ian. He's our primary line of support. You can also go to solidearth.com, where there's more information about the Spring platform. Ian will distribute further information about how Charlottesville wants you to interact with the tech support guys there at Solid Earth for future questions you might have. So that takes us to the end of the presentation, and I think I've got about 5 or 10 minutes before I have to go back into the reso sessions. Since we have a chat window open, I think I'll just throw out the questions to the group if Ian has any, or if any of the people online not there in the room might have a question. The chat thing is the little round quote box in your GoToMeeting user interface, and we'll just hang out here for a minute or so and see if anybody has any follow-on questions to what we've looked at today. While you're thinking about that, I'll just review this content. We had a brief introduction. We went over searching. We looked at the 4 roles on the site. We looked at how to save your search and how to save properties. We looked at how to create collections and how to make those collections interactive to generate auto notification. Those mails go out once a day currently. We looked at leads and how those leads are managed. Roger's showing us the collection interface, which looks really cool. We haven't really looked at one of those to click through to it. Then we looked at how to manage your lead settings, how to determine who sees the office leads pool, and how deep linking works. Collections really is one of the coolest, I think, user interfaces in the system, which also includes several things we didn't have time to cover, like the compare button, which will put the listings side by side and give you a nice way to do heads-up comparison. All right. Well, seeing no questions, we will keep the size of our video down and wrap it up today. I really enjoyed talking to everybody. My name is Matt Fowler, and my email address is mfowler@solidearth.com. MFOWLAR @solidearth.com. If anybody has any future questions, we'll also be at NAR next week, demoing with RPR and showing Spring as the latest user interface to the new AMP program. So there's really exciting things happening at Solid Earth, and we're glad, again, that you've invited us back into Charlottesville. Thanks, everybody, for your time today.